Welcome back to the channel, and this time we've got a look inside the box of the D.H.60G from A model in 1/48 scale. Now this is a case of the person selling this, I maybe did know, maybe he's had it a while, I don't know, but this was £8, which I think is incredible value. I've only been able to see these available from Russian suppliers or people in the east of Europe, and it's a lot more than £8 to get it into England, so I was very chuffed with this. I didn't realise A model did this kit in 1/48, I thought they only did 1/72, so I was very happy to find out about this, and then a month later at a show actually see it, ask the question, £8, well that's perfect. So this is a boxing that seems to be, I can't really trace what this boxing is for, but it seems to be sort of round the world flights or that sort of thing, because you've got two famous aircraft, this one being Jason, which is named appropriately, and there's another one in there as well by two female pilots who obviously did long range flying by the looks of it, I think. So let's get in the box and see what we got. So typical with A model kits, we get it all in the whole lot in one bag, including the instructions and decals. Got a separately bagged piece of perspex there for the windscreens, and then we've got the instructions. So we've got a nice large instruction sheet here, and a little bit of write-up says about the DH60 being the ancestor of the whole Moth airplanes family, which made a revolution in aircraft building, which is quite right. And then says that the DH60 was used as a tourist and sports airplane and as an airplane for a long distance flight, which I think you'll find is the basis for this boxing. So here we are with the instructions, and we've got a sprue layout here which is looking very nice, all very good. We've got a separate fin and rudder section there. Then the build is quite straightforward. We begin with the cockpit, you've got the two seats there, then the prop hub and engine and cowling coming together. Fuselage halves going on with a separate cowling, and they've left this separately here with a sprue for different versions. We'll get into that in a minute. I'm hoping you guys can help me out. Then the wings go on, and it looks like quite an interesting option here. You've got two different fuel tanks there, and it looks as though we're going to put the fuel tank on with the cabane struts, and then after fitting the exhaust, the wings are going to go into the fuel tank, so that will be fun to get all of that lined up. But I'm sure it's doable, and we can always edit things by putting metal rod, plastic rod, whatever, drilling through. That's the challenge of a kit like this. Then the undercarriage goes on, and the kit is complete. So the marking options we've got here is the Gypsy Moth Amy Johnson's Jason, which is the box art, which was England to Australia, so that's one of the long haul flights, which looks like green and white. And then we've got up here the British woman pilot Lady Mary Ballery, which is 1929 to 1930, and then we've got a just, it says here, Gypsy Moth, so I don't know if anyone can shed light on this. This is a VHUAO, so I don't know what that stands for, but it looks like it's got a British roundel, and we do have red, white and blue on the rudder there. Nice extensive decal sheet, which for me is going straight into the spares, but we've got lots of large lettering, and then some roundels here, as you can see. If that is the RAF blue, white and red, that looks a little bit, I don't know, looks like the blue's off to me there a little bit, but I'm not sure. Do let me know in the comments. I'm not up on my civil aircraft, certainly not British civil aircraft. We've got large carrier film on the decals. I've never really used A model decals, so I can't really say what they're like, but there you can see the carrier film around the G and the A, and big blocks around the A and the H. But, you know, the decals there, it feels quite tacky, so I imagine they'll be alright. I have used them in the past, actually, and they're okay, but they're very flat. These, yeah, are also very, very matte, so you've got to work with that. So, looking at the sprues, we have the wheels here, which have separate hubs. So these parts go on the other side, and all of the struts and undercarriage bits for the top and the lower parts of the wings. Then this one caters for the interior mainly, with the engine and the exhaust. You've got the two sort of chairs which are like bucket seats there, just add belts. All crisply moulded, it looks absolutely fine, to be honest. Looks actually like the best A model kit I've seen for a while. It's usually a lot flashier than this, and not in a good way. And then we've got the fuselage halves and the engine cowling. Now what I wanted to ask you guys, which I'm sure some of you will know better than me, I want to do this as a Spanish Civil War version. Now I understood that the D.H.60G was just a Gypsy Moth and that was it. So I'm just double checking that this is the correct cowling for one of those aircraft. I don't think you're going to find many pictures of them, but they were basically just the Gypsy Moth that they had over there, like the Tiger Moth and so on. So just checking there's not 2 or 3 variants of a Gypsy Moth, and I've walked into something here. So if you could let me know in the comments below what variant this represents, or does this look right, etc., that I'd be grateful. So looking at all of that, we've got raised and recessed panel lines on the cowling halves there. And then we've got internal detail as well on the fuselage half. It all looks very good. The only slightly iffy bit is here, and I think that's only just a bit of flash, just around that opening there on the front of the engine here. Everything else looks pretty good. Quite impressed by it, to be honest. I expected worse. I think the build's going to be challenging, certainly with this wing join. And then we've got the wings and the tail section. And you can see the fuel tanks there as well that go on above where the wings join. They're actually hollow, so that's going to make life even worse, isn't it? They're hollow with these side sections, and then this top wing's meant to be supported by that. So I think it's going to be an idea to get some rod going between the two. I think that's going to be the only way to really get any sort of structure. But nevertheless, we're a long way ahead if we have to scratch build it, aren't we? So what can you say? Short run kits, this is what, you know, a lot of hidden dangers with them. But the details there, slightly rustic in the way it's done, but you know, it all looks absolutely fine to me. I've seen a lot worse detail wise from much better manufacturers, so I'm pretty happy with all that. Looks like an interesting and challenging build. And we've also got the bag of invisible goodness here, which does have a clear perspex sheet. There's no point getting it out because you won't be able to see it, but it is in there. I think you can see there that I'm holding on to something plastic, and that does have the faint outline of the 2 windscreens, so you just cut around those, and that's separately bagged, which is a good idea because you're not going to find it, I don't think. So there we go, the A model 148th D.H.60G, which is a Gypsy Moth as far as I know. Again, if you could let me know in the comments below. Oh, I've just noticed, compared to the Tiger Moth and the rest of them, it's inverted. That's usually the other way round, isn't it? As I say, I should know a lot more about this aircraft than I do, so unfortunately I don't. But if you could let me know down in the comments your thoughts on anything you've seen, if you think it looks like the sort of version I want, and you know it's going to be right, that would be great. If there's any differences or things I should know about this boxing and this version of the kit, that would be ideal, and it would be great for everyone else to look at that and use that as a resource. So as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, give the video a like, and that way you'll be able to stay tuned for more videos in the future. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video.